Right now we're sitting inside of my 1999 Audi A6 Avant. This car was a gift to me, and it's a beautiful car, but even the best engineers make some small mistakes. What I noticed in recent days, after some heavy rain, is that when I go uphill, I have tons of water pouring out of a vent near the passenger side floor. So this carpet here, where my foot is pointing, soaked. And when I go up a hill, I actually have water rushing out. So I figured I should take a look around, not let that problem go for too long. And I think I've come up with a solution. So this video, if you're experiencing similar problems with your Audi, should help you out. So the first thing I need to do is come out here, pop the hood, and when you look at the engine compartment here, you'll notice that there's a giant piece of weather stripping that goes along the top. Underneath here you have things like your battery, I think power steering fluid reservoir. We're going to pop that off. So all you really need to do is pull off this molding along the bottom. And then you're going to take this whole plastic piece and just start pulling it out. Don't worry, you're not going to break anything as long as you don't tug too hard. Alright, so once you get that piece of plastic molding off, you basically have near your windshield almost like a reservoir. This whole thing where the battery, brake fluid, where all of this stuff sits, it's like a ditch. So it goes down, 5 or 6 inches deep. And when I get that molding off, one of the first things I notice is that there's water sitting maybe an inch and a half deep near the battery. And then if I brought this camera over to the other side, same thing, near the brake fluid reservoir, I've got about an inch and a half of standing water. And it hasn't rained in 2 or 3 days. Now most of that water has emptied out into the passenger side of the car, which is something that I really don't want to continue. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end up taking off this battery, getting it out of here. I've already done some of that prep work before I did the video, that way I didn't do anything stupid in front of you. But basically, you're going to need a 10mm socket to take off these terminals. Now I don't know if something's different on your car, but for me it was 10mm, and if that saves you any time, great. Okay, so now I've disconnected the battery terminals, and when you look underneath here, I've actually taken the battery out. Now I've got to warn you, you kind of have to dance around with the battery a little bit to get it out, but basically this plate that you're looking at is what the battery sits in. And when I get closer here, if you can see these 2 holes, I actually find out that I have 4 or 5 inches of water just sitting there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to remove this plate that the battery sits in to figure out what's going on underneath. Alright, so now I've gotten that plate out that the battery sat on, and again, just like the battery, that took a little bit of maneuvering to finally get it to come out. But as you can see, I have got a reservoir that's full of dirt, leaves, some other nasty stuff. And even though I'm a little bit of a germ freak, I'm just going to stick my hand in here and open this plug, and you can see the water go, which is really unbelievable. So instead of going to a dealer and paying $150 in labor for them to do this, I actually just took 15 minutes and did it myself. So even though the Audi is kind of an intimidating vehicle when you pop the hood, simple things you can do on your own. Now obviously there's still a lot of junk sitting in here, so what I'm going to do is run inside, maybe get like a pitcher of water and just start running out all this waste. But obviously that's a good feeling. This probably was the easiest possible fix. I'm sure that there are some other things I'd have to explore if this was open, but the problem is solved. Have fun!